This is how we get down. What's good, everybody? Welcome in to a Wednesday edition of Coach and Company Live here on the Stadium Network. We have so much to get to over the course of the next 60 minutes. But as you can see, with my horrible background, that I am outside of the friendly confines. We are down in Florida, the very first FedEx Cup playoff event this week, the St. Jude. I'll be on ESPN Plus all weekend, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, doing the special betting feed, courtesy of ESPN Bet. And it is interesting that I'll be on ESPN this week because we have a lot of topics, a lot of content, as ESPN today announced that they are buying the NFL Network and the NFL Red Zone. And also, they will be the new streaming home. And I'll discuss that with Big Tommy coming up in about 15 minutes. Of all of the WWE PLEs starting in 2026, part of the big new deal, you're going to pay $29.99 for the right to get the brand new ESPN app. We'll discuss all that coming up in just a little bit. Also, at the bottom of the hour, our countdown to the NFL season continues. Today, we're looking at the AFC South. The Texans, the Colts, the Titans, and the Jags. We'll break it all down at the bottom of the hour. Now, as always, we must look back before we look forward. A mundane day. I got so hyped. I scheduled my flights around it for this. Oh, when Marquee Model is our biggest winner of the day, that might be an issue. I'll discuss with the guys coming up in just a little bit. Now, as far as our content throughout the day, you guys know we have a ton coming out of BTT Studios later today. Part of our Sirius XM content now, 2 to 4 Eastern time. It is Off the Ropes with the Coach. We'll be talking everything pro wrestling coming off of SummerSlam and also with this new ESPN WWE deal as well. Nick Nemeth will be with me today. If you have not watched Coach and Bro, big announcement. I was wrong in the best possible way. Starting tomorrow, right after Coach and Company on Thursdays, and we'll be doing a lot of different things for that hour. We're going to be at 11 a.m. Eastern time now, so 2 full hours coming out of our studios every single Thursday right here on Stadium. Cannot thank the Stadium executives enough for that opportunity. All right, enough housekeeping. We got a lot of stuff to talk about, so I don't know if in a they do have doorbells in a hotel. My company, they found me. They're ready to get in. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to beat the books. On YouTube instead of Stadium, please hit that like button on your way in. And also, you can just chat away as our girl Kimberly runs the chat during the show as well. Now, look who I have today on a Rant Wednesday. Oh, my goodness. Now, I've been hearing his head explode for the last week, especially when you get swept by the Marlins. Say good morning to Big Tommy C and all of his fun facts. Good morning, Tommy.
Good morning, Coach. What a way to welcome me by my New York Yankees, who can't even win a game anymore. They're not my New York Yankees anymore. I just don't know what to say anymore. They find ways to lose games. It is just incredible how bad this team really is. Terrible. Just terrible.
I was just waiting to see if you said anything else. They're horrible. Between you and Nick Turturro, you're my entertainment. I was on the plane last night going, what's Tommy going to say? What's Tommy going to say? All right. You guys, look what just happened. I just completely broke my pin just now. Look at that. I can't do anything right on the road. All right. I got to find another pin. Here we go. See, we're always prepared. All right. Next, he is live from Memphis, Tennessee. He's a host of Weekday Wagers on our Coach and Company YouTube page. Subscribe right now. DG, what's good, man?
Good morning, Coach. Good morning, guys. It is the first day back to school. I am ecstatic. I don't know about any of you, but my kids are gone and it's just me, and this is great.
August 6th in Memphis, kids are in school?
See you later, kids.
Wow. All those schools without air conditioning, and you're in there just dying. It is kind of good when you got the kids from age 6 to age 12. You're like, get out of my house. Get back. Somebody else can watch it for 8 hours. Damn it.
Yep.
Now, speaking of watching somebody for 8 hours, sometimes I feel like I'm babysitting this guy, but he's our guy. Mikey P, what's good, man?
What's going on, Coach? Good morning, everyone. No babysitting here needed. I'm excited for a which should be a very entertaining show today.
I think so too. And finally, he's our numbers guy for a reason. Say good morning to Rafael Esparza. Good morning, Rafael.
Good morning, Coach. Good morning, family. I'm a numbers guy. You know how many kids I have at my house, DG? 0. My house is always quiet in the morning.
I don't know if that's necessarily true from how many times you complain about the wife. So I have a feeling there's a little yelling going on at the Esparza household, but that's just a little bit. All right. So guys, you saw the recap screen from yesterday. And as I'm traveling, I like to empower all of you. I like to rely on you to pick up the pieces and see who's going to step forward. Between the show and our NFL meeting yesterday, I don't know if I can ever miss anything again. But that's neither here nor there. We've got to move forward. Who wants the smoke? All right, DG, big boy, best bets. Start us off. Go.
Went 2-0. Was it Monday? Yeah, it's been just the other day. But let's go with Kerry Carpenter here with 2+ total bases. It's at plus 115. He's hit this line 7 of the last 8 games where he started, and he's hitting a 414, 5 home runs during that 8-game span. He's now matched up. There is no pitcher announced for the Twins just yet. I don't care who it is. Kerry Carpenter's hot. Let's get 2 total bases here at plus 115. Then we're going to go to Shea Langoliers for the Athletics, 2+ total bases at plus 100. He's cashed his line in 7 of the last 10 games with 8 home runs during that span. He's going against a rookie pitcher. That sucks. He has a 5.35 ERA in the minors. That's not the majors. He's going to get rocked today. Shea Langoliers, 2+ total bases.
I just want to keep hearing you say that word, and then all I have in my head is Soupy trying to say. Wait a second. Sorry, my phone just. I hate to break up my own flow, but I just had, and it's interesting how the timing on these text messages goes, because we saw Soupy went 0 for 2 on the show. But he also apparently didn't do that well on Prize Picks. Producer man, I haven't even seen the video. Can we roll tape, please?
Hey there, Sloopy. Young Peyton here. Just wanted to say congrats on a prize fight win finally. Nope. That's 3 in a row for your boy. I'll tell you what. You know what? Next week, I'm going to have you go first. Maybe change things up a little bit. We'll see how we do there. But, you know, right now, it's a lot of L's in that Sloopy name. Now we got what? Loopy? That doesn't sound right. All right, next week it is. Later.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God. If I'm loopy right now, my head is popping off my shoulders. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. The kid. 3 in a row. But who does it like this? Who does 3 like this?
Yeah.
That'd be my only criticism. All right. Now, Tommy, I got to come over to you, big boy, because you're up next on our screen.
Yes.
And a year ago, you didn't even know what a run line was. And now you're throwing them off like you're the biggest baseball capper in the world. Tommy, explain yourself.
Coach, you know, 2 weeks ago you had a bad day, and then the Wednesday crew came through because we all hit big time. So we're going to help you out again. Staying away from the Yankees, the worst team ever. I'm jumping on the Philadelphia Phillies against the Orioles. I'm taking the run -1.5 plus 130. And I do have a fun fact, folks. The Phillies have won each of their last 10 games against AL opponents that have a losing record. And the last time I looked, the Orioles have a losing record. They are in last place.
Very interesting with the fun fact. And by the way, the graphic was incorrect. It is plus 130. So plus money there, plus 130 on that graphic there. All right. We got to keep it moving along. Mikey P, coming over to you. What do you got today?
Well, Tommy, let me help you out because I called the doctors, I called the local hospitals, and they said the cure for the Yankees' poor offense go up against Jack Leiter. So today I'm taking the Yankees team total in the first 5 over 2.5. Leiter's got a 3.66 ERA at home. So if he just does his average and gives up at least 3 runs, we'll cash this. It's a plus 110. And then I am going to the Rays and Angels game. Give me the Rays on the money line. I'm looking at the pitchers on the mound for Wednesday afternoon baseball. Shane Baz, a 2.97 ERA on the road. The Rays won last night. I like them to take 2 of 3 for King Lettuce's against King Lettuce's Angels.
Real quick, is that team total for the first 5? It's only 2.5 for the entire game?
No, it's 2.5 for first 5.
Okay, so got to make sure we get those graphics right, guys. Okay, so first five, not for the entire game. All right, Raphael, coming over to you. What do we got?
First of all, the Minnesota Twins are throwing out Pearson Ole tonight, so there you go, DG, for that one. And then in baseball, we're going to Toronto Blue Jays team total over 6.5. Why? Because they're playing the Colorado Rockies in Colorado, where they just scored 21 or 31 runs against them. The Rockies have lost 5 straight home games, and opponents have averaged 11 runs per game in those losses. So I think we see a lot of runs across the plate tonight. And everybody with me. Hey, ladies! We're going to the WNBA. We're going to take the Aces Valkyries first half over 77. These two teams played each other 3 days ago. Was 101-77. It's going to be a field fest in Golden State. I think we'll see another high-scoring game. The Aces are averaging almost 50 points a game in the first half, so I think we'll see a big score in the game.
How do we think this show has started off today, boys?
Phenomenal.
Yeah.
We need Marky Motto.
Are we grading on a curve?
I mean, all right. I guess. All right. So Big Chuck always sitting in plays, even when he's not on the show. So we've got plays from the League's Cup, or as he calls it, a.k.a. the Gold Mine. Rafi's favorite team, Club America, against Portland Timbers. Both teams wanting maximum points. Club America averaging 3.5 team goals in League Cup action. Well, Portland has averaged 2.5 team goals. We will roll with the BTTS and over 2.5 to wrap up the group stage. There is the side hustle that we support so much. Scan that QR code. And Chuck does every single sport. He can do anything. Just check it out. 2 or 3 games. You're going to be playing with house money. All right. We also have a partnership with JTS, Just the Stats. And there he is. And Abass in the chat said, I'm here for Mark and his jokes. Literally the only person that's ever said that. Mark, what do we got today?
Well, let's look. Will hopefully not disappoint. We're going to start today's play of the day with Las Vegas Aces Chelsea Gray to go over 15 points, rebounds, and assists. Gray has been a machine lately. She's cleared this number in 25 of the 29 games this season, and she's a perfect 3 for 3 versus Golden State, averaging 19 PRAs. That's not flirting with the line. That's blowing past it, and the model loves it. We're going to pair that with Texas Ranger Josh Young to get at least 1 hit today against the Yankees. This one is simple. Josh is locked in. I mean, look at that picture. This is him when he's happy. He is clearly focused because he's done this in 10 of his straight games and in 9 of his 10 games against the Yankees. Put them both together for a plus 113. Just as Sports play of the day.
And there is the QR code as well. I need you to download it, scan it, whatever you want to do. Then use our code BTT30. We're now inside of the 30 days because you'll get 30 days for free if you use that code. You can check out all the cappers. They're adding them literally more and more every single month. The football model is ready to go. The baseball model has been killing it. You saw that Mark was 2-0 yesterday using the model. So I encourage you all, put this tool in your toolbox. All right, best bets. They are done. Still to come here on the show, I hope. ESPN making news today. They are buying the NFL Network and the NFL Red Zone to put on their brand new app. It's going to cost you $30 a month. But more than that, they also are going to be the streaming home for every single WWE PLE starting in 2026 for the next 5 years. $1.6 billion. What does that mean? And how far have they come from 2008 when they almost wouldn't hire me because I came from wrestling? It's Coaching Company. We're live, as always, right here on Stadium.
Look who we have here. It is break time, but we're not taking a break here. We're talking some college football, and I'm here with Mike, and we're going to talk a little Arch Manning with the Texas Longhorns. Mike, what's your thoughts this year on Texas just as a whole?
Well, as a whole, it is Arch Manning as a whole, because finally, I don't think college football is going to be about Coach Sanders, Coach Dion. It's not going to be about Shore, Travis Hunter. We're going to get the most athletic Manning in the entire family, and we're going to see what he can do to finally bring back the Texas Longhorns into national championship contention. They were number one in the coaches poll. And the best part about this, DG, we don't have to wait. They take on Ohio State August 30th. Props to college football. I'm so happy. We're finally getting games. It's not Texas against UAB Tech anymore to open college football season. So thank you, college football. We're going to find out very quickly, very early, if Arch Manning and the Longhorns are for real.
Well, the Longhorns went 13-3 last season, 7-1 in the SEC, which is obviously a really good record. Can they repeat this year in a very similar kind of type record where they're one of the top teams competing to win the SEC?
Yeah, I think when you break open as the top team in the coaches poll, you have to do better than that. And that's a little crazy to say because 13-3, 7-1 in the SEC, that's nothing to scoff at. But you got to go 8-0 in SEC play, and you have to maybe lose one game. I think if you lose 2 games and you're the Longhorns, you're just looking at saying goodbye to Arch after next season to the NFL, and you're right back to being a mediocre Longhorns team.
I'm curious how Arch Manning does this year for Texas because he's obviously being touted as one of the best quarterbacks in the entire country. 10 seconds. I need you to give me your predictions. The Texas Longhorns, do they win the championship? If not, how do they finish?
I'm going to give them 14-2 on the year, and that will include a loss in the playoff.
Wow. So they get to the playoffs, which is obviously where we're expecting them to be, but they end up losing. 14-2, not a bad year. Very let down for the Texas Longhorns fans. All right, that's all we have. We'll have more college football in the next break. We'll be right back on Coaching Company right now.
Okay, welcome back, everybody. It is Coaching Company live on the Stadium Network. We are here every single weekday, wherever Stadium lives. Amazon Prime Video, DirecTV, YouTube TV, the list goes on and on. I need to see my boy, Big Tommy C. What's up, Big Tommy? How are you doing?
What's up?
Now, I woke up this morning to my phone. Ding, 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 ding. It's been amazing. In 2008, you were there. We were there together. When I was trying to leave the WWE and go to ESPN, there was a lot of executives that didn't want it to happen. Then fast forward to 2015. Kevin Dunn, Vince McMahon, call me in the middle of the night. Coach, you got to get WWE programming on ESPN to show the world that it can work with a real network. Fast forward to today. And ESPN with their brand new app, $30 a month, starting in 2026. Every single WWE, PLE, the pregame shows, the postgame shows, it's going to literally shake the foundation of how it's all done. Did it shock you for $1.6 billion that they made that announcement today?
Yes, it does shock me. And by the way, Coach, where is your cut? Because you were the one that kind of headed this up with the executives from WWE and the executives of ESPN telling him we need to start promoting this brand on our show every week or whenever you did it. So where is your cut in this thing? And now ESPN sees that this is a multi-billion-dollar company and they can make money off of it. It is just amazing how people switch like that, Coach. And now they love WWE. PLE $30. I'm sure a lot of people are not happy about it. You're going from $12 from Peacock to $30 for every PLE. But you know what? The hardcore wrestling fan will spend that money. ESPN will continue to make money. And of course, WWE just prints money all the time, guys. It's just amazing how it's turned from 2008 to now programming PLEs airing on ESPN. I'm flabbergasted, to say the least, Coach.
Yeah, it's going to be really, really interesting. You see on there $516 per year if you want to digest everything that the WWE is doing between Netflix and now the new ESPN app, whatever they're calling it, direct to consumer. And there's going to be a lot of content that's not even produced by ESPN now. I'm doing PGA Tour this week, ESPN. WWE, they'll do their own, and also the NFL Network, they will do their own. So it's going to be a very different looking media space, but this is a blockbuster deal. And really for us, it really hits home. And I'm kind of proud, to be honest, about the role that I've played the last 15 years or so to get this deal done. Tommy, thank you very much for your input on that. All right, you guys know it's Wednesday. That can only mean one thing. Oh, it's an F day.
Good morning, guys. Welcome to the first F day. Welcome to the first F day. Pardon me.
All right, gentlemen, we got to get right into it because Howie Schwab would have wanted it that way. Let me look at my notes. Where do I start? Well, how about a topic that never seems to go away, and it's stupid. DG, start us off. What are you ranting on today, sir?
I am always down with a good joke. The problem is, this is the third time it's happening, and fans, check yourselves. You're not a part of the program that is what's happening in the WNBA. And it's disgraceful what we're doing and throwing things onto the court because, yes, the first time I get it, it might have been funny, and maybe even the second time. But now, last night, we had another incident within the WNBA game where fans are throwing things on the court. It doesn't make sense. It's degrading. And at this point, it's just kind of annoying. And so please just keep your stuff to yourselves. And if I was the WNBA, I would have a hefty fine, $100,000 if anybody is caught throwing anything on the court, and I guarantee it stops.
I think that would be great because they already arrested the first clown that did it. He said, oh, it's supposed to go viral. Oh, it's supposed to be a joke. There's nothing funny about it. There's nothing funny about it. So just stop. $100,000, I think that sounds great. Let's make it two. All right, DG, great start. All right, Mikey P, coming over to you, big boy. I got one single solitary question for you. What are you ranting on today?
Well, Coach, I was very honored and happy to be a part of the Coaching Company NFL meeting yesterday, a prestigious club, if you will. But during that meeting, Raphael informed all of us that the Carolina Panthers moved 4 points on a preseason line because they're taking on the Cleveland Browns this weekend. So right now, that line sits at the Panthers -6.5. What happened in those hours? Shedeur Sanders was named the starting quarterback for the preseason opener. And now everyone's going way against the Cleveland Browns. Here's a guy where we all sang his praises before the draft. Then we all wondered what was so wrong with Shedeur. He got drafted so late. Now he gets an opportunity to step on the field. He's going to play a lot. He's going to go through the ringer. He's going to get put into the fire. And everyone's like, we don't want to touch that guy. We want to stay away from that guy. They signed Tyler Snoop Huntley to be on that quarterback roster in Cleveland. He's the worst Pro Bowl selection in the past 25 years. Let's calm down. Let's let Shedeur Sanders prove himself. I just don't understand why we're running away from the Browns when the polarizing figure has an opportunity to prove himself.
Because this is what we do. We jump on topics because everybody else jumps on the topics, even if the topics aren't accurate. Good job, Mikey P. Good job. All right, now, I got into the hotel at 4 a.m. last night, and so I haven't even had time to get up this morning and have anything to eat. So I seriously doubt that any members of the crew would even dare to talk about food on the show, as hungry as I am. Raphael, let me come over to you. I got one single solitary question for you. What are you ranting on today?
Coach, I sit in my office about 12, 14 hours a day, so sometimes I eat cereal all day long as my 3 meals. And then I started looking at the prices when my wife brings the boxes home or orders it on Amazon. Can you believe right now the average price for a box of cereal is $7.50? $7.50. I don't even get a toy or a tattoo stick on anymore when you buy a box of cereals. Why am I paying $7.50 for a box of cereal? In 2000, you know what the average price was? $3. It went from $3 to $7.50. I don't even get many marshmallows in my Lucky Charms anymore. Cocoa Puffs don't even make my milk really chocolatey anymore. What am I doing? I need a new snack when I sit here doing odds and dumb prop bets all day long.
I don't know what's more shocking, that you called it a tattoo stick?
Sticker.
Or that you order cereal off of Amazon. What the hell are you doing? cereal off of Amazon? It's like Costco buying it in bulk. What are we doing? $7.50, Raphael? Wow. And you did bring up food. And I'm starving. A little fired up this morning. All right. Raphael, good job. Mikey P, DG. So, Tommy, let me come over to you. It's down to me and you, big boy. And I know that Hard Knocks has started on, I think it's on HBO now. I don't even know what channel it's on anymore. I have not got a chance to watch the first episode, but I know that you have. Tommy, what are you ranting on today?
You know, Coach, I've been watching Hard Knocks a long time, and I tuned in last night to see Hard Knocks is on the Buffalo Bills. And I got to tell you, from the first episode, that is the most boring team I've ever seen in my life. Coach McDermott is like watching paint dry when he's talking to his team. Hey, guys, we're here. What we do on the field reflects game one. Hey, Sean, no kidding. Of course it is. That's why you're in training camp. What they do in their free time. Dawkins, the offensive lineman, they did a segment with Dawkins and his three little kids getting in a car, going to a track, and making circles with this car, and the kids making like they're getting ice cream. They're going nuts over. Dawkins is just going around, circle and circle and circle. And I'm like, are you kidding me? This is 5 minutes too long, this segment. The other one, the topper, was Trey Davis in an ice cream parlor trying to sell to put his sundae that he gets there to put it up on the menu. Are you kidding me? If this is the way it's going to be, it is boring city. McDermott's boring. The Bills are boring. The owner's boring. And it's just boring, Coach.
I got a question for you, Tommy. Is it boring? All right. Well done, gentlemen. Now, where am I going to go today? I had so many different areas that I could go in, but I'm going to go back to the gift that just keeps on giving, and that is Jerry Jones and the Dallas Cowboys. Because now Jerry Jones is putting all the blame on Micah Parsons, arguably the best defensive football player in the entire NFL. Can't get a deal done. He requested a trade in the last several days. What did Jerry say about it? He goes, oh, that's just part of the negotiation. Not really, Jerry. He wanted to play in Dallas. He wanted to get paid in Dallas. He wanted to be a leader. That's why he's showing up to avoid the $50,000 a day fine in Dallas. So for Micah Parsons to walk in and say, listen, I'm done with this. I want out a Big D, says a lot. And I haven't seen any other owners in front of the cameras on the practice field holding daily press conferences. This is just Jerry's ego being Jerry's ego. This is not going to end well. And once again, the Dallas Cowboys are going to do what they always have done since 1997. Lose, lose, and lose. Get it together, Jerry. Get it together. Hey, DG, does this get done down there in Dallas? I know you're a huge Cowboys fan.
Man, I hope so. You can't lose Micah Parsons. And I understand that you can get a pretty decent haul for him if you were to trade him, I would assume. But at this point, you can't lose the best player on your defense on a team that isn't great defensively already. And so Jerry has to swallow some pride at this point.
Raphael, does he move the needle as far as lines are concerned in or out of the lineup?
Him showing up to practice the last 2 days moved the needle because it was Dallas to re-sign him -$2. Now it's -$4 that he's going to sign a new contract. So I think him showing up to practice does help.
It's -400? -400? Mikey, is that a short-term investment or a dumb investment?
I mean, I'm actually concerned that they will trade him. Wearing the Bears hat, I think there is an example there of when the Bears went and got Khalil Mack from the Raiders. You look at what that haul was. I think there's an example right there. I don't know if Jerry keeps talking. I'm packing my bags if I'm Micah Parsons.
No, I think he wants out at this point. I really, really do. All right, gentlemen, well done. Coming up on the other side, we continue our countdown to the NFL season. It's the AFC South. Yeah, it's a real division. This is Coaching Company live, as always, right here on Stadium.
All right, let's go to the Bayou. Not with you, Coach. Give me Raphael. We're going to go down to the Bayou, talk a little LSU Tigers football, I think. But the Tigers last year were
I'll
not.
talk LSU with you. I'm cool with
All
that.
right, let's go.
Yeah, let's do it.
9-4 last year, and they were 5-3 overall in the SEC. Garrett Nussmeier is the QB there. Any thoughts on the LSU Tigers? All right, we'll send out Coach. What's your thoughts on Garrett Nussmeier and the quarterback there, who is honestly the second overall favorite to win the Heisman?
Yeah, I really feel like I'm on weekend wagers. I was supposed to be on, now I'm not on. It was crazy. But for LSU, it doesn't matter who the quarterback, who the coach is. Week 1 is their whole season. It doesn't matter if you get the Heisman second favorite as the quarterback Newsheimer. It's all about playing Clemson in week 1. They haven't won a week 1 game since 2019. They've lost to Florida State, USC last year. Their whole season is all about Clemson at Clemson in week 1.
Yeah, that one is a big game because Kay Klubnik, who is also the third overall favorite to win the Heisman, it's the battle of the second and third, right behind Arch Manning, who we talked about in the first break. At this point, it's going to depend on the quarterbacks, really, who gets this win. If you're looking at this team in LSU, can they be better than last year's team, who was pretty good? A lot of people are picking them to win the SEC this season.
I'm going to say no, because I think they lose to Clemson, and I think the wheels come off after that wheel, because I think they get a new head coach if they lose to Clemson. I think they lose to maybe even South Carolina at home, who's a South Carolina team, is a much better team than people think. So I think the wheels come off after week 1.
Wow, that would be shocking if it was start with a loss and then they get rid of their coach and moving forward. All right, 10 seconds. I need your prediction. Do they win the championship? You're guessing no, but what is their actual record this year?
I think they have 3 to 4 losses. It's all again, Clemson, if they lose, I think Alabama beats them. Even Florida can go to Baton Rouge and win that game. So it's going to be all depending on how they do against Clemson.
All right, well, that's your LSU Tigers. We'll be right back on Coach and Company in just 5 seconds.
All right, welcome back, everybody. It's Coach and Company here outside of the friendly confines on the road this week to do the first FedEx Cup playoff event at St. Jude, a special 3-hour betting window courtesy of ESPN Bet. We'll be on at 11 a.m. Eastern time on ESPN Plus, part of PGA Tour Live, all the way up to 2 p.m. Eastern time. So join us there as we're talking everything betting in golf, the top 70. Make it to Memphis, Tennessee. And also live betting, which is all the rage now, especially in golf. So it is 10:33 in the East. If you're just waking up in the West, it's 7:33 out there. We got a lot still to get to here. Coming up in about 15 minutes, there is a tennis player getting online hate, and I'm over it. We'll discuss it coming up then. But I need to see my man Raphael, because today, the third AFC division that we are looking at, and it's the AFC South. But real quick at the break, you were talking about LSU with DG. Have you seen the new Netflix SEC documentary that just came out a day or two ago?
I've started it and made my stomach a little turn because you know how I feel about SEC, but it's pretty entertaining and very informative because I think some of these teams that we're not talking about in SEC can make some noise this year.
I really enjoyed it. I like the formula of Drive to Survive, Full Swing, and now it's the same formula. A lot of behind the scenes, a lot of following players around. So if people really like that kind of content, it's an awesome. I think it's 8 or 10 episodes too. It's a lot of episodes. So to get into. All right, let's get into the AFC South because this is arguably the weakest division in the entire league. You got the Texans coming off a big playoff win last year. They are the favorites this year. Should they be, Raphael? And is there any line movement going on right now?
They should be. And I talked to the VP over at BetMGM yesterday when we were talking about this conference or this division. And he told me this is the least bet division, but it's the most profitable division because I don't see anybody beating Houston. And you're trying to tell me I can get minus 105 or an even money over at DraftKings? I don't understand this unless for some odd reason the Colts found a quarterback that can play. I'm not shocked on Jacksonville, who's getting no love except under on total season wins. But the biggest bet in this division is the Tennessee Titans to win the division. Not 1, not 2, but 3 multi-$1,000 bets to win a division.
Well, they lost their backup quarterback for the season. And do you think that the number for the Texans is what it is because they don't have Tank Dell? It is what it is because people still think Jacksonville at some point is going to be a good team. Why are we getting such a good price on the Texans?
I think because of the sophomore slump we saw last year with their quarterback play, and of course they losing some wide receivers. And I just think people still believe Trevor Lawrence is going to be that Trevor Lawrence that we all thought when he got drafted. He was the next Andrew Luck coming out of college football. And so far, he looks like Marsha Brady with his long back hair in a helmet. So I do not think Trevor Lawrence is the answer in Jacksonville.
Did you say long back hair?
Blonde hair.
You said back hair.
Well, maybe he does have back hair. I don't know.
Back hair. I haven't had back hair in like 25 years.
You have any hair?
Yeah, interesting. All right, let's dive a little bit deeper. Raphael, thank you very much. It is now time to bet the futures. All right, DG, I got to start with you because there are the numbers that Raphael just talked about, and he is not lying. The Texans at minus 105. If you're a Texans fan and you're bullish on them, I think you should bet on them right now. Does it shock you to see these numbers in this division?
It does shock me because I first looked at this and I thought that the Texans being minus 105, even money, depending on where you can find this at, was a good bet overall. But then I look at, what Houston doesn't have, and their receiving core is down, obviously, without Tank Dell. And I look at Jacksonville, and you have a better team. I think they're better defensively. And so if you have a defense that's led by Fuyasade Aluakon, yeah, easy enough for me to say. He is the best defensive linebacker in the entire division. I think Jacksonville at plus 310 is a great bet at this point.
Oh, absolutely love it. By the way, a quick reminder, I'm looking over in the chat if you're watching on YouTube. My man Marky Model's in there. We're talking baseball. You have any questions, football, about the model, he'll answer them for you in real time. Also, Raphael will be in the chat as well. Mikey, let me come over to you because as I did my research for this segment, I'm thinking, how can you bet on anybody but the Texans? But then I thought, well, Travis Hunter, who's been all the rage, he told CBS Sports HQ last week he plans on playing every single snap offensively and defensively this year and only sit out for special teams plays. That's going to be impossible, but he says he's going to do it. I think there's a love affair with him, which is why we see the numbers we're seeing right now.
Yeah, absolutely. When I look at these numbers, the one that shocks me the most is not the Texans, it's not the Jaguars. The Titans coming in fourth. I would put them ahead of the Colts and never think about it twice. I mean, that number between those two teams is absolutely crazy. So I would just throw that out there. If you don't believe in the Titans, at least bet them to do better than the Colts this year. I think that's very simple. But when you talk about the Jaguars, listen, we all heard it this year, right? Duval, Liam Cohen, Duval, the worst Duval of all time. But Trevor Lawrence, Travis Hunter, there's weapons in Jacksonville. Raphael, all due respect, you're hating on Trevor Lawrence. He had you blocking for him his first few seasons in the NFL. He was running for his life. He had inept coaching. I think Liam Cohen's going to come in and change the culture. He's going to change the system. I think we're going to see the best Trevor Lawrence we've seen since his Clemson days this year.
He's the only quarterback from that class that is still with the team that drafted him. Think about that for a second. And that was only 5 years ago. That's how bad the quarterback class has been. But Tommy, as I come over to you, the Titans have the number one pick in this NFL draft. And he is a quarterback. And he is coming out of Miami. He's saying all the right things, Cam Ward, except when he was asked about Will Levis being out for the season. He's like, oh, I really didn't think about it very much. I'm out here focused on what I got to do. Now, not really a team player thing to say, but this is now his team. And sometimes in football, sometimes in the NFL, you've got that crossover moment. And this might be a chance for people to sprinkle just a little bit because Cam Ward could be dynamic, could be the NFL Rookie of the Year, Tommy.
He could be, Coach, but let's face it, the NFL is a lot faster than it is in college football. So I think Cam's going to have a rough go of it in the beginning there. The Titans are really not that good. And here's the other thing about this division, Coach. will Trevor Lawrence ever live up to his potential? Because if he does, they can have a pretty good team with Travis Hunter there. Their defense is good. I like sprinkling a little money on Jacksonville there. Of course, Stroud had the sophomore slump, but they are easily probably the team to beat in this division. But yes, I think Cam Ward's going to have a little rough go of it. The NFL is a lot different than college. I know he's a great athlete and everything, but it takes a while to get used to what's going on in the NFL.
This is the time of year where you see, oh, snap. Look at that graphic right there, DG. I had forgotten that Daniel Jones was now a part of the Colts. And Anthony Richardson is sick coming out of Florida, who was a big part of the documentary I just talked about. These are the two choices in Indianapolis. They're both not bad quarterbacks, but you know what they say, if you've got two really good quarterbacks, you have zero. Were you shocked to see this graphic as well?
I was shocked, and I'm honestly shocked that the Colts have them both on the depth chart at number 1 tied. What are we doing here at this point? Make a decision. But the problem is Anthony Richardson has that high ceiling. Like, the dude could be amazing, but his floor is so low. What do you get with Daniel Jones? You get a low ceiling but a high floor, and because of that, that's why they have them tied. Anybody that's tied with Daniel Jones, who is not a great quarterback, not even a good quarterback, they have an issue there. But I think Anthony Richardson ends up winning this. But the Colts, even though they have a good receiving core around him, I don't think that they have a chance to really be good again. And because of that, I think we end up seeing more decisions on another quarterback moving forward after this season.
Yeah, it's going to be fascinating too. And I think one of the things that fans need to look at, this could be a division, Mikey, that we're seeing 9-8, maybe even 8-9 win this division, because the Texans, because they went to the playoffs, because they were a first place team, they've got a very difficult schedule, which we haven't even really hit on yet. And when I'm looking at their first two games, Rams, Bucks, those are playoff teams. And then you have Baltimore right before a week 6 bye, which I hate, a bye before minimum week 8. But then, Mikey, as you keep going down, you got Denver, you got Buffalo, you got Kansas City. I mean, the Chargers. This is a really hard schedule for a team that did win a playoff game last year. CJ Stroud is coming into his 3rd year, but this might be a sneaky play to drop some shekels on somebody else just based off the schedule.
Yeah, that's a very tough schedule. But, Coach, I want to make one thing clear whenever we talk about the Texans. They ruined me last year from a betting perspective as a homer of the Chicago Bears. So I will never have anything to say nice about the Houston Texans. Nico Collins is a good player. But look at this graphic on the screen right here. Travis Hunt and Brian Thomas Jr. We're talking about all the playmakers in the AFC South. From Stroud to Travis Hunter and Trevor Lawrence in between. When you look at Travis Hunter and Brian Thomas Jr., I would go on the hill and say that the Jaguars have the best playmaking wide receivers in the division, and it's not even close.
I agree with you, which is why I'm bullish at plus 300, Tommy. I'm looking at the Jags and not the Texans as my pick to win this division for those two things, schedule on one side and then just a lot of talent on the Jags on the other.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I mean, I like the Jaguars too. I mean, Travis Hunter, man, who knows what he can do in the NFL? The kid is a stud, but I don't think he's going to be able to play every down. This is the NFL. It is a much different league than college. I think he'll smarten up after 3 or 4 games, and the coaches don't want to lose him at all. And the other thing about the Texans, they still have a great coach. He's going to coach him up big time. But I do like the Jaguars here, man. I think they could do some damage. If only Trevor Lawrence would play up to his potential, they could run away with this thing, Coach.
Well, he got the bag. He got
Yep.
the money. He got the contract, that second contract that every NFL player wants. He got it. Now he has to earn it, and that's a completely different thing. Coming up tomorrow, you guys know what division we're looking at. Damn, that hurt just a little. I didn't realize my own strength. The AFC West. Can the Chiefs repeat? Can they get back to the show? Can I get a better background? All those questions will be answered by tomorrow's show. Still to come, online abuse over gambling. What are we doing? Coaching Company right here live on Stadium.
All right, let's go down to Alabama, but let's bring in Marky Model with me here. There's that beautiful face. Alabama last year, 9-4 on the season. And did you know Caleb DeBoer was a rookie head coach last year? But guess what? They only won 9 games. First time not winning 10 games in Alabama since 2007. Bring me back a little, Nick Saban. But what's your thoughts on Alabama moving forward? So this year, they look like they have a better team. In a second year, Kalen DeBoer, can they actually be a legit contender for the championship?
Yeah, Alabama enters year 2 of Kalen's era, right? And the story here is really, really simple. 3 words: win it all. And they really do have a roster that's capable of doing that. I mean, their expectations are massive, but they're bringing back so many of those offensive threats. Yes, Jalen Milroe is gone to the NFL, and I understand the collapse that happened in Tuscaloosa last season, where they were averaging 15 points a game in the last 3 games of the season. They can't have that. The new quarterback, Ty Simpson, dual threat, highly recruited, and I think fits well into DeBoer's play schemes and the offensive sets, simply because he's more like a Michael Penix than a Jalen Milroe.
Yeah, they open up the season on the road at Florida State. Simply the fact that they have all these games we've been talking about during the breaks. There's so many good games to open up the season. It's been phenomenal. I actually have them losing down in FSU territory, and I'm not a Florida State fan at all, but I have a lot of good feelings about this Florida State team this year. How do you feel like they do in their first game on the road?
I think we get a lot of answers to the questions that we have surrounding the offense, especially with Ty Simpson. Look, he's got all the weapons. Ryan Williams was electric as a freshman. He's coming back. Bernard is back. They got Miami transfer Isaiah Horton, who's joining the mix. Their running back room is deep. They have all the offense running and operating behind one of the best O-lines, if not the best O-lines in the nation.
We'll see. We'll see. Who knows how Alabama's going to do? We'll be right back in Coach Company. Just 5 seconds.
Welcome back, everybody. It is Coach and Company live here on the Stadium Network. A quick reminder that the Coach and Bro Show debuts at its new time slot on Thursday. That's tomorrow at 11 a.m. Eastern time, right after Coach and Company. So you get 2 hours of us. I absolutely love it. Now, gentlemen, I do not like online abuse. I do not like online hate. And when you bring in gambling and that particular racket, it gets even uglier. What am I talking about? Ukrainian tennis player Alina Svitolina. She lost to Naomi Osaka. And she revealed, and she actually put out screen grabs of DMs, tweets, posts on IG of abuse because of gamblers losing money on her when she loses matches. They take it a step further. Also, racial slurs aimed at her husband, DG. When we start to do this, that's when it's way, way over the line.
The number one thing, never bet what you don't have, or never bet what you're willing to lose. Like at this point, like, come on, guys. Like, and honestly, it might be girls out there that are betting on these sports. Like, we have to understand that these are true humans. Like, they're not just robots out here, and somebody has to win and somebody has to lose. But they aren't building these huge buildings in Vegas for not winning. So you have to understand there's potential you're going to lose. Don't go after people. Accept the loss and move on.
What's weird is that when you're a big-time athlete, Mikey, you want to use social media to your advantage, put out content, perhaps merchandise, make more money. But if I'm a player like her, or if I'm getting that kind of stuff, it almost would make me want to just shut down my social media completely, because I don't even want to read this stuff, because people say, oh, don't let it bother you. It bothers you when people write this stuff to you, regardless of the reason.
You absolutely are allowed to let it bother you, but I praise the athletes who do put these people on blast. You see it a lot in fantasy football. Oh, I missed my win by 2 yards. I don't care. And you hear NFL players say all the time, I'm not here to win your fantasy league. I'm here to take my team and win a Super Bowl, make money for me and my family. And in the fight game, coach, I don't have to tell you, that's my favorite. You come after a fighter, you cost me my parlay. I was just in a fight for 15 minutes. It take me 30 seconds to wring your neck. I don't care about your bet that you placed. It's disgusting. It's despicable. But when these athletes call these people out who have Cheeto dust all over their fingers, yeah, good. Good on them.
My favorite is when a football player, Raphael, does it in fantasy. When a fantasy player will be like, man, if you would have gotten 2 more yards, and then they went out there and they won the game, and they go, oh, and then they blast them like Mikey Pizza. That's my favorite, is when it gets reversed back on the person.
Yeah, it is my favorite when the NFL people are crying, because if you go overseas, this has been happening in soccer and tennis way before social media was even invented. They used to throw stuff on the field and on the court for tennis players in soccer. They're the most rudest people when they lose their bets over there. They're the most betting scandals over there. Tennis, number 1, soccer, number 2 for betting scandals. So it does not shock me when I read this story.
Tommy, what would be your advice? You're kind of the grandpa of our group. If you had somebody in front of you, what would you tell them?
I'd say you're a degenerate gambler.
No, to the athlete on how to react is what I meant.
Well, I like the way she reacted, Coach. I would put people on blast the same way. You know, she's doing what she's got to do. She's playing hard. She's playing hard to win. And then you come out there on social media and then you try to bury them. I like what she's doing. I think she should continue to do that. She works hard. It's not easy to do what she does, because if it was, you would be in there playing yourself. And I like what she's doing.
No doubt about it. All right, gentlemen, thank you very much. All right, we need to have a bounce back day as far as our best bets are concerned. It's time, ladies and gentlemen, to lock it in. All right, 10 seconds or less, 1 or 2 nuggets is all that I need. DG, start us off.
Let's start with Kerry Carpenter, 2+ total bases at +115. This dude is hitting .414 over the last 8 games with 5 bombs. And then we're going to go to Shea Langoliers at 2+ total bases at +100. He's with the A's, and they're actually playing really well right now. Out of the last 10 games, he's cashed this 7 times. 8 home runs during that span. Let's go ahead and cash again with Shea.
Tommy, give me a fun fact.
I've got the Phillies going against the last place Orioles. I'm taking a -1.5 +130. Big note. The Orioles have trailed after 3 innings. 3 innings in 8 of their last 9 road games against National League opponents that hold a winning record. Sorry. My tongue's tied there. I'm still upset about ESPN.
Maybe a first 3 bet is something to look at as well, ladies and gentlemen. A little extra nugget there. Mikey P, you're up.
Well, I got a fun fact. And Tommy, the Yankees' woes are over because they're going up against Jack Leiter and the Texas Rangers. And I am taking the Yankees' first 5 team total over 2.5 at a +110. I like the Yankees to break out of their slump. It's got to happen eventually. And then give me the Rays money line at a -117, taking on the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. The Shane Baz is on the mound for the Rays, and he is electric on the road.
Raphael.
We're going to take the Toronto Blue Jays team total over 6.5 -120. Really? 6.5? Because they're playing the Rockies. That's why the total is 6.5. Last 5 home games, the Rockies have given up opponents 11 runs per game. That's crazy. Then we're going to go to WNBA. Aces, Valkyries, first half over 77. Last 3 days ago, these two teams played 101-77. The last 2 meetings, both first halves have cashed.
And then Big Chuck's in League's Cup, or as he likes to call it, the gold mine. One of our favorite bets, both teams to score in over 2.5. It'll wrap up the group stage, Club America and Portland Timbers. Mark Yamato, what's our JTS play of the day?
Go with Las Vegas Aces Chelsea Gray to go over 15 points, rebounds, and assists, something she's done in 25 of 29 games this season and is a perfect 3 for 3 against Golden State. We're going to pair that with Josh Young to get at least 1 hit today against the Yankees. He's played 10 games. He's hit safely in 9 of them when facing the Yankees. Love the spot for both of them, put them both together. Just Assess Sports play of the day.
You're damn right. On fire as of late. Scan that QR code. Use our code BTT30, and we'll give you 30 days for free. That'll take you all the way up to the weekend after our opening game, the Eagles and the Cowboys. Now, at the end of every single show, we try to make you smarter. Raphael, where are we going today?
Yeah, Inside Info had an easy winner yesterday by the 4th inning, so we're hoping to have another one. Give me the Toronto Blue Jays have won 11 out of the last 12 games against NL West Division teams. Thank you, Colorado Rockies, today.
By the way, what was the bet that Soupy made yesterday that in the chat, it was 4th inning, it was 11-0. What was that bet?
It was the Nationals A's, wasn't it? I think it was.
Yeah, I think it was like the first 5?
First 5 under.
So he was doing F5s. Yep, it was F5
Yeah,
yesterday.
F5s.
That's right. It was the under, and oh geez, Soupy had a bad day. And then you had insult to injury with young Peyton with another. You know what? Producer man, roll that one more time.
Hey there, Sloopy. Young Peyton here. Just wanted to say congrats on a prize fight win finally. Nope. That's 3 in a row for your boy. I'll tell you what. You know what? Next week, I'm going to have you go first. Maybe change things up a little bit. We'll see how we do there. But, right now, it's a lot of L's in that Sloopy name. Now we got what? Loopy? That doesn't sound right. All right, next week it is. Later.
Oh my God, that kid is unbelievable. All right, stay right here, gentlemen. Thank you very much. My one shot is now time for all of you to go out into the world. And do not forget, Off the Ropes today, 2:00, channel 156 on Sirius XM. We're talking all about the new ESPN WWE deal, and then Coach and Bro tomorrow morning, 11 a.m. Eastern time. Moving forward, to be on Thursday mornings right after Coach and Company. But understand this: there's only one thing left to do, and I believe you all know what that is. You've got your marching orders. Let's take all of these tickets this way, straight to the pay window. My entire company, damn it, do I love them all. My man DG, Mikey P, Raphael, Chuck, Big Tommy, producer man behind the scenes, always making the show look like $1 million. I'm simply the coach, trying to keep this train on said track we grind for you, so we can win with you. It's what we're all about every single day. This is Coach and Company live on Stadium. Have a great day.